Every so often I'll get a client coming to me and they've done some spiritual work, they've done some magical work, and they say something like they've done this spell, but they don't know if it worked or didn't work. In other words, they did some sort of magical procedure with an objective in mind, but they're not sure whether that objective has in fact manifested, which strikes me as really a problem with how you formulated your petition. Because if you can't tell whether that spell has manifested or not, how on earth can you design a spell, write a petition to have that thing manifest? Usually this is because there has been some sort of lack of specificity. The way that the petition was written has been vague and broad and sort of with the intention of being a catch-all kind of thing. Resultantly, if you write a vague, broad petition, or you create an intention for a spell that is nebulous and vague, the result will be nebulous and vague. So what you want when you write a petition, when you create a sentence of desire or a intention for a spell, is it needs to be specific enough that you know when it manifests. Obviously, there needs to be specificity. It helps often to give a time frame. So for example, if you want to manifest a job, you're going to ask for a specific role with a specific salary by a specific date. All three of these specifics need to be bounded by what is plausible, right? So the role that you're petitioning for will be something that you are trained for. That's it. There should be some likely way in which you could be hired for that thing. Similarly with a salary, it should be within the scope of what someone might be paid for that salary, right? And in the time frame also, it should be plausible, right? There should be a reasonable amount of time. It's good to add a time frame, because if you don't, it might take a year, and you want it to happen within 3 months at least. And so that could be another reason why you don't know whether it's happened yet, because it hasn't happened yet and you weren't specific about the time frame. So you want to be specific enough, and you want it to be broad enough to make it possible for some wiggle room, so that there can be some way in which this work can plausibly manifest. You want to be ambitious but realistic.